I'm gonna be honest. I was so ready to come on here after the third quarter and be like, man, Steelers, they looked unbelievable today. They looked so good. This is the first complete game I've seen the Steelers play, not only just this season, in years, in all honesty. But I can't do that now. The Steelers today played 45 minutes of good football. The problem is that 60 minutes is how long a football game is. The Steelers nearly blew this game. They nearly blew this game. And they nearly blew this game primarily because of coaching, and I'll get into that later. Let's get into the positives. First and foremost, I thought the offense was fine today. I thought the offense looked good today. I really did. Obviously, right before this game, Jaylen Warren was ruled out. He injured his knee yesterday in practice, and he didn't play in this game. He tried to work out. They didn't deem him fit to go. So he was out today. Kenneth Gainwell was the lead back today, and he did pretty well. He went, I think, did he go over 100 yards? Let me check real quick. No, okay, so he was at 99 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns on my bench in fantasy. So pretty good, honestly. Like, I can't complain whatsoever. Rodgers was fairly efficient. He didn't turn the ball over, and that's really what I want to see out of him this season, is just for him to not play a game where he throws turnovers. And he was 18 to 22. I think he had just over 200 yards and a touchdown, which was the long bomb to DK Metcalf. Like, that was 80 yards or something. So, honestly, I thought the offense looked good today. DK Metcalf, he had, I think, 5 receptions, 120-some yards, and that long touchdown, as I said before. Kenneth Gainwell, he was the second receiver. Mainly a bunch of screen passes and dump-offs to him. And then no one really else of note on the offensive side. I guess moving on to the defense, I was very impressed with the defense today. This was a game where the defense needed to show up, and boy, did they ever. I think they had 5 sacks on Carson Wentz. TJ had a sack and a pick. Deshaun Elliott, he had a sack and a pick. Good to see him back. Patrick Queen had arguably his best game since getting here, with a sack, and he was all over the field today. I think he had like 8 tackles, something like that. So very good day from him. Nick Herbig, I think he had a sack and a half. I think Keanu Benton also had a sack and a half. Overall, pretty good day from the defense, if I'm being honest. And they held the Vikings to under 100 yards rushing, and they won the turnover battle. That's all I can ask for. The Steelers, they didn't turn the ball over at all. The Vikings, Carson Wentz threw 2 picks, and they nearly got another fumble, which was returned for a touchdown. But, of course, as replay showed, Jordan Mason touched the ball out of the end when he was out of bounds. Dumb rule, but it's the rule. What are you going to do? Special teams. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little concerned about our special teams, and that's only because, I've noticed a gaffe every week in the special teams, whether it's a long return, which are more common now, and I'm sure, special teams are still adjusting to the new kickoff rules. So I've been cutting them a bit of slack, but, of course, a couple weeks ago you have the Caleb Johnson gaffe, whatever that was. And then this week you have the blocked field goal. Now, ultimately, it didn't end up hurting the Steelers in any way. I mean, I guess the defense ended up allowing a field goal on the Vikings' next drive, but, other than that, it wasn't too bad. So I really don't have any complaints from this game for the most part. I mean, special teams could have been better, but, if you're always trying to look at the little things, you know, it it's hopefully just a fluke. Then that won't happen again. But if this happens, on a consistent basis, then we're going to have problems and serious concerns. Now, as I said, the Steelers played 45 minutes of really good football. And that's true. They did. However, a big reason why the Vikings nearly came back into this game. It was 21-6 heading into the fourth quarter. Coaching. Coaching is a big reason why the Vikings almost got back into this game. They did get back into it. And they nearly tied it. Okay. Here's the situation. There are about 4 minutes left. It is fourth down. You are up by 10. You are at the 3-yard line. What do? Do you kick the field goal and go up by 13 so that way the Vikings need 2 touchdowns to beat you? Or do you try and go for it and seal the game completely? Or do you go for it and call the worst possible play you could possibly run in this situation? Guess which one the Steelers chose? Yeah, instead of kicking the field goal, which I absolutely think they should have done, they instead decide to give it to Kenneth Gainwell, who did not get it, and the Vikings ended up scoring a touchdown. And now it's a 1-score game after that. If you kick the field goal there, yes, I understand. It's still a 2-score game. The Vikings can still technically get back into it. But because you didn't allow that field goal to be kicked, you now need the Vikings only need a field goal, and they ended up getting the ball back because of another poor coaching decision, if you ask me, and not trying a field goal. You have Chris Boswell. Why not try a field goal? I understand it was a long kick. I understand that, you've never played on this field before. I don't care. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, other than that, it was a pretty good day for the Steelers. Of course, there are a few injuries, as I mentioned before. Jalen Warren, Jalen Ramsey, he ended up getting hurt. Brandon Eccles, non-contact injury. Hopefully it's not as bad as it can be. But the good news for the Steelers is that they have the bye week coming up. They get the bye week, and then they get Cleveland. So you have that chance to heal up. Hopefully guys like Jalen Warren, Jalen Ramsey, and even maybe Alex Highsmith. I think that one's a bit of a long shot, but maybe. Maybe these guys come back after the bye week. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else to say, so yeah. Go Steelers.